crisis. And I'm very excited to welcome Oleksandr Kobzarev. He's the Chief Executive Officer of UNBROKEN. Welcome to the stage. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Thank you so much for coming here. We talked a lot about crisis. We're going to talk about one more crisis that's been going on for way longer than any of us wish. And I think to start with that, we'll look at a video that you brought about your work and the situation in Ukraine. So if we can play that video, and then we'll go into our fireside chat.
Courage to look in the mirror. What is strength to find a foothold? What is victory to feel the wind? What is freedom to fly underwater? This is their new start. New history.
Тепер у мене червоний пояс.
Я продовжую танцювати.
Я почала бігати.
Я батько.
New life.
All right. So this already shows some of your work, but give us a bit of an introduction of the work that UNBROKEN does in this country that's under war, and how you help people that are affected by the war, that are losing limbs over the war, and all these things that we've just seen. Tell us a bit more about UNBROKEN and the situation in Ukraine right now.
Yeah, you saw the story of our 4 heroes, and the war tragically changed the trajectory of their lives. And each of them was on the very bottom, on the point when they didn't know how to live on. What is our mission is change that. It's give new trajectory. It's help them to set new goals, to give them hope, to give them new opportunities. That is our mission. How we do that? Treatment, prosthetics, rehabilitation, reintegration. That's how we do it. We created in Lviv whole ecosystem, connected projects with each other, which make each other stronger. We call it ecosystem of humanity. We call it UNBROKEN. We wasn't smart from the very beginning. It's exactly polycrisis teach us how to do step by step, having one crisis after another. We start from having 5 million IDPs passing our cities. It's huge crisis. People were everywhere, in every school, in every sport gym, in every cultural building. We had so many refugees. So we start to build housing for IDPs. We accept from the beginning of war 16,000 wounded people. 2,000 of them are children. So we rebuilt our medical system to concentrate on the wounded. On the very beginning, we understand that it's not just enough to save their lives, it's a high demand on prosthetics. So we start with very small prosthetics workshop. It was about 40 square meters. Then it became bigger, 400 square meters. Now we are constructing building, separate building, 1,000 square meters, which will be new prosthetics workshop. Also, in the very beginning, we understood that rehabilitation is essential, because it's not just enough just help people with immediate urgent things. You need to teach them how to live longer, how to live better. So we reconstruct building 7 floors. It was old polyclinic and made it modern rehabilitation center. But demand is still so high that we reconstruct another part of this building. We're adding more floors to have more capacity, and we're going to reconstruct 2 more separate buildings to increase this capacity even more. So our goal is to the end of this year have our capacity rise from 6,000 people per year to 10,000 people per year. But it's also not enough. We meet people with physical wounds, we meet people with mental wounds, and we understood that you should care about them together, not separately. So that's how we started our mental health center. And this example is just ideal one, because it shows not only good result for mental health, but also influenced physical recovery. Some people recover faster because of better motivation, new goals, better attitude. So it was so successful that we're going to build 2 additional mental health centers. One is a copy of existing one, and second one is for those who survive tortures and captivity, because it's absolutely another case. So that's how we move slowly, step by step. But this is also not enough. We have not wounded, we have veterans. Myself, for example, I also came from war, who need psychological help, juridical help, social help. Their families need help. We help them also to find a job. We even start to give them voucher to start up as small businesses. That's what we call ecosystem of humanity. That's how we step by step build this ecosystem against this polycrisis, against the problem that was created by war.
The video showed that, you're not just a medical center, you go beyond that, right? You're not just fixing one medical issue, and you're looking actually at things a little bit more holistically with what you just explained, just the connection of physical and mental health, and also just hope, right?
Yes, exactly.
How is the situation in Ukraine right now and with regards to hope? From the outside, very often it seems it's almost a hopeless situation, and then there's people like you that try to create hope every day and very practical solutions, but how is it if you're real with everybody?
I will tell you the truth, the situation is not good. We have anti-air alarms every day, every night. Our children spend half of their time in shelters, not in the school. So we still have this problem, and we need an enormous amount of help from you, from civil society, from all around the world. The things which are described, what we already done in our ecosystem of Unbroken, we couldn't done by ourselves. We call it peer-to-peer diplomacy. So we understand that our state is busy with fighting things. They just have this military stuff. We understand that this treatment, rehabilitation, reintegration, prosthetics on our shoulder. So we contacted many people in Ukraine and around the world and asked them for help. And we got this help. We got equipment, knowledge, financial assistance. So that's important. That's important for us, and thank you very much, and thank you for your nations for such help.
Thank you. Now, again, we still have this topic of the polycrisis. You already mentioned it. And, when preparing for the session, I was always struggling with, this academic concept of the polycrisis. And obviously, Ukraine had some real ways of showing that to us on how we are all connected to Ukraine, whether economically, emotionally, in many ways, right, through the war in Ukraine. But then people on the ground deal with real issues, with bombs being dropped, with war. So I assume on the ground, not many people are talking about polycrisis and how everything is connected, I'm assuming. But how do you see it? Do you think it's important to make the connection and zoom out and connect the dots between all these different crises, trying to connect them and solve them together? Or from your perspective in Ukraine, it's just more about we just need to help more people, we need to make sure that people get the mental health support, physical health support, prosthetic legs? Is that just much more practical than that?
Well, it's a tricky question because everything is what you mentioned is important. I can tell when I start to serve in army, we had almost nothing, and I figured out that I can live without many things I used to. I can sleep on the floor, I can sleep on the street, I can sleep in the hall, and what is important is the human's life. That's the thing we should concentrate on. How to save human life. How to give to humans the opportunity to be humans. That should be core for everything. That's why we're talking about humanitarian solutions. And other type of crisis is just, top level. We need always concentrated on little things. It's my personal point of view.
How can we help in the room? How can people help that are not in Ukraine with your work?
Well, first of all, we are a charity organization, so I would ask you to donate as much as you can, and you will see result. We're showing this good result in our country. But also you can meet some people from Ukraine. Just find them, find your colleagues, find your peers in universities, in NGOs, in state organizations, in businesses. Just connect with them because they need your help, they need your advice, they need your just handshake, just saying, everything will be okay, we will help you. This costs a lot.
How important do you see this kind of emotional support and this maybe less tangible support sometimes, where it's not just about arms being sent to Ukraine, but also people not giving up, right? Like there's real people on the ground that need to fight this war, and that we need to make sure that they're not giving up, and also that we work towards a solution, that we don't get stuck. So how important is that?
Sometimes intangible things are very important, and you can't say how it's important, because it's hard to overestimate. Russia has everything more weapons, more soldiers, more everything. But we keep fighting. Why? Because our motivation is very high. And it's something you can touch. But you can feel it when you speak with soldiers, when you speak with field people, when you speak with NGOs. We have many NGOs who helps to arm it, who helps to solve humanitarian issues, to helps to refugees, to helps to IDPs, to helps to those who wounded, to help to keep mental health. So we have such interesting organization, which become not hierarchical, but flat. All people decide we are equal. We have to help. Every help counts. Every step, every dollar donated, every smile, every let's keep up, never give up. So this is all counts.
Yeah, what is it about that resilience that I think Ukrainians have shown despite everything? And obviously, when we zoom back to when the war started, when Russia invaded Ukraine, most experts didn't give Ukraine much of a chance in terms of their assessment on how long you would be able to defend yourself. What is it about the resilience of Ukraine that we can learn from, or that's been like the pillar of strength in this very difficult situation?
It's a very interesting thing. It still be a miracle for us. We don't know how we did it, but we obviously survived yet. We endeavor those 2 years. And what we are doing, we are inviting our partners to discover with us what is the essence of this unbrokenness, what is the essence of this resilience. This started from Greater Manchester and Liverpool and Lviv. Those cities all together are initiated creation Unbroken Cities Network. So we invite cities who would like to figure out what gives to the city this resilience power, what helps to cities to stand in front of all these problems, such kind of humanitarian, military, any other type of crisis. So we invite other cities to join our network, which has a goal to help to Lviv to build its own ecosystem and to share this knowledge. We are really proud that our ecosystem of Unbroken is a part of municipal healthcare and social care system, which means pretty much in every Ukrainian city you can make the same, which means pretty much in every other city we can do the same. And we're ready to share it. So in the beginning, we had a goal to help the wounded soldiers, and now our goal is help the wounded country. And to maybe become, it's another interesting fact. Because of war, Ukraine became an excellent center for military technologies. Many military things are just started in Ukraine. But we have to become excellent center in humanitarian solutions, which is much more needed in today's world. That's why we invited you to join us in this endeavor, to figure out what is unbrokenness and how to make this solution together.
Got it. Now, how hopeful are you actually that we're not going to sit here next year again and talk about the war in Ukraine, that there's going to be an end, there's going to be peace for Ukrainians? How hopeful are you? And if so, what gives you the hope?
Well, you know, on this night from Saturday to Sunday, there was a massive rocket attack in Ukraine and on my region when I'm living on. And a couple of rockets and these drones, Shahed, just fly right under my home. And what could I do? I just pray, not me, not now. So this is what our hope is, to pray and do what we can right now with all resources what we have, right there in the situation what we have. No, I don't have silver bullet. I just have my head, my hands, my legs, my passion. That's all.
That's already a lot. I know we can all feel helpless sometimes, you know, with the wars that we're watching from afar, most of us, and that you are much closer to. But before we wrap up the session, I think you brought us another video.
Yeah.
So I'd love to watch that as well, to give everybody a bit of an impression from on the ground. If we can play the second video for everyone before we wrap up, it'd be great.
Температура у 1300 градусів плавить сталь. Бетон можна зруйнувати вибухом. А вітер зі швидкістю 28 метрів на секунду ламає дерево. Людське тіло крихкіше за будь-який метал, бетон чи дерево, але у ньому є дух, який неможливо знищити. Тому ми незламні. Усі трагедії цієї війни мають імена. Вокзал у Краматорську – це родина Степаненків. Знищений Бахмут – Микита. Житлові квартали Сергіївки – брати Володимир та Яків.
Коли закінчиться війна?
Ракетні удари поруч з нашою лікарнею. Перші евакуаційні потяги лікарів без кордонів. Усе це досі перед очима. 100 поранених військових, яких привозять одночасно після обстрілу полігону. Ми не ходили додому і жили поруч з пацієнтами. Роман – один з тих 100. 68 днів лікування. Ігор, наш фізичний терапевт, поставив його на ноги. З Романа усе почалося. Сьогодні їх тисячі. Незламних. Оксана – медсестра з Лисичанська. І її перші кроки. Михайло і його біонічна рука – наша перша. Сергій та Юля – наші Ромео і Джульєтта. Протезні майстерні – наша гордість. Спочатку менша, а тепер велика. До речі, це я, Назар. І лікарі, які приїздять з усього світу допомогти і навчити. А ще є центр ментального здоров'я і будинки для незламних матусь. А це місце мрій і надій. Місце перемоги над своєю травмою. Хтось був на Зміїному. Хтось не знімає балаклави. А хтось вирішив охреститися в лікарні. Сотні і тисячі неймовірних історій. Щодня ми разом протезуємо, реабілітуємо, лікуємо, оперуємо, розповідаємо історії, шукаємо кошти, будуємо і мріємо. Це наш місток у нове життя.
Thank you so much, Oleksandr, for sharing your work and for doing the work underground, to you and your team. And thanks, everybody, for being here. I'd like each of you to take a minute maybe after this and just think what's the one action that I took away from this session, whether that was earlier with our keynote, with our panel. What is one thing that you can do in your life? Halo shared a few things already that you can do. Thanks, everybody, for dedicating your time to this. And let's hope we're not back here next year or in a different setting where we're talking about rebuilding. So thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you very much.